What the was that?
James, it's Valtteri.
There's something loose between my legs.
You mean like forever?
I don't know.
Tripping major nutsack.
Come on! No more radio for the rest of the race.
Hello everyone and welcome along to the Reserve Drivers for another week as we preview a massive 2022 Formula One season. I'm Tim McDonald, he's Luke Rocker.
That's right, Tim and Luke. Luke and Tim, the band of brothers, the dynamic duo, the two amigos. How would you describe us?
Not like that.
What about like this?
Compatriots, the two.
You don't want to see. You're trying not to use a more fractious word to describe them.
Exactly.
Yes,
the two warring people from last year.
Tim, I've always said that tension is the firelight, the coal that runs the steam train of a good on-screen friendship.
It's just a shame it won't continue past this episode, Lukey boy.
Toot toot, buddy, let's go.
We're back for another massive week in front of a live audience. Valtteri Bottas is loving it. We're going to be lucky if we get that many laughs this week.
That's at him at like a 12. He's
Oh,
12
yeah.
out of 10 there.
He's turned it right up there. So thank you for joining us. Thank you as always for all your likes, comments and subscribes. And excitingly, Lukey boy, a big thank you to our first ever Reserve Drivers sponsor, KO.
Ring the bell.
A massive thank you to KO. Every F1 race is now on KO.
Tim, this is awesome.
How exciting is it to have KO on board? How surprising is it to have KO on board? Have they seen this show? Do they want to be associated with this show?
Tim, I pay for and I love KO.
This is exciting because we're both big subscribers of KO, have been for years. It's not just F1 that you can watch on KO.
It is just a sports fan's heaven. You can actually split screen on KO. Did you know that?
Yeah. So you can half watch us. You can just watch my side of the screen. And then on Luke's side, you can watch some great content, which will be a refreshing change. So remember, every F1 race is now on KO. Of course, all Aussie eyes are on McLaren and Daniel Ricciardo. How do you think the Honey Badger's going to go in season 2022?
Well, I hope well, because there's no denying that my mental health is aligned with his successes.
Of course, had an amazing win last year in Monza. So ahead of the 2022 season, I was lucky enough to catch up with the one and only Daniel Ricciardo. Daniel, thanks for joining us. You spent your winter break locked in meetings with engineers.
Spending time with them was awesome.
You're obviously joking. What did you miss over the break?
Sometimes you do miss just like the little things.
Lando. I saw him before. I was in the lift and...
It kind of brings everyone up, so...
Yeah, I know what a lift does. Adele's new album. Your thoughts?
Definitely different to 21.
Kim Kardashian's single.
That fills me with some good optimism.
So is Queen Elizabeth.
You'll probably see us wrestling.
You got to head back home?
For sure, it was so nice.
What's your favourite thing to do in Perth? Is there anything to do in Perth? There's some new McLaren merch. Obviously, you're a medium. Lando's an extra small kids.
It's a really good fit for him, so...
Just finally, the Reserve Drivers. If you had to sum up our show...
What's the word?
Entertaining.
It's a no-brainer.
The big F1 story at the moment, Looky Boy, Haas.
Yeah.
Troubles with their sponsor, troubles with their driver. They even had problems with their car during testing.
Yeah, an oil leak.
Fortunately, though, they managed to find the problem very, very quickly.
This morning didn't start good. We have an oil leak in the moment ongoing, and we cannot find where it is from. It's from the engine.
That is incredible. How he managed to find that mid-sentence, that is incredible.
Let's get a stopwatch on that.
We have an oil leak in the moment ongoing, and we cannot find where it is from. It's from the engine.
That is amazing. The fastest discovery ever. Well done, Gunther Steiner.
His brain is working overtime.
Yeah, if only he could find a sponsor and a driver that quickly. And it turns out Kevin Magnussen, their old driver, is back with the team, though he wasn't their first choice.
It's funny you say that, Timothy, because I myself threw my hat in the ring.
What?
I interviewed. Check it out.
Thanks for coming in. Why do you want to drive for Haas?
6 hours later.
Should we skip that one?
Yeah, probably.
What are your strengths?
Skip that one too.
Okay. Any weaknesses?
Well, I can't drive at all.
Perfect.
I always spin or crash.
Yeah, you'd think that's a weakness, but no. Anything else?
I have 1.8 billion.
Where from?
I sell energy drinks.
Get out. The other big story in the F1 paddock at the moment, Lukey boy, the Russian Grand Prix. Lots of news flying around about the Russian Grand Prix. I think Sky Sports' Craig Slater summed it up best.
That race, given it is in September, is still likely to go ahead. That's my understanding.
I'm not sure he understands it very well, Craig Slater, but he did clarify his comments.
As I understand it, the race will not go ahead, but that's completely unconfirmed from any sources within F1.
One of the best journalists in the paddock. It's completely unconfirmed from no sources.
Tim, you're being too harsh on Craig Slater.
Do you have any sources for that?
Look, it's unconfirmed that I have any sources, but from my understanding, you're being way too harsh. Because that man is the hardest working man in the paddock. He is everywhere. Okay, here he is in the Sky Studio, okay, which is in Isleworth, UK. Okay, now he's in London outside the FIA commission meeting. He's in Warwickshire at the moment. And then they chuck him in Barcelona. He's in Barcelona, but then watch out. Oh, he's covering the boxing in Manchester. He's even on the moon.
We don't know that that's the moon. That's unconfirmed from any sources.
Look, from my understanding, he's in galactical orbit.
Well, Craig Slater is used to breaking the big testing stories, Lukey boy. This was him a couple of years ago.
I just want to remind you of a little picture story we brought to you in the last hour. This was Snowtoe. He's the snowman that Mercedes created when the white stuff was on the ground.
Oh no, Snowtoe is dead. Snowtoe is dead. There's no life in Snowtoe. That looks a lot like Mercedes' championship hopes from last year, Lukey boy. Although that is unconfirmed from any source.
For new viewers of the reserve drivers and maybe the KO executives, there is always one piece in the reserve drivers that just gets me going, and Snowtoe is officially the one.
One of the big talking points from F1 testing, Lukey boy, porpoising. The bouncing up and down that a lot of the cars are doing thanks to the new ground effect downforce regulations.
Basically, the car bouncing up and down.
It's that up and down movement, and even talking about porpoising, Sam Collins experienced porpoising.
But you want your struggles now, don't you? You want to be struggling in Barcelona.
Well, that is
you want to be struggling
intense.
in Bahrain.
That is intense porpoising there.
That is A-grade porpoising.
So Sam Collins wanted to get to the bottom of how you prevent porpoising.
You've experienced this phenomenon known as porpoising before, and you know how to deal with it. So tell us, how do you get away from this porpoising?
Hello, KO. This show is porpoising, Lukey boy.
No, we're not bouncing up. We're all down.
There's no coming back from this.
No.
Well, you and I can explain porpoising with our words, Lukey boy, but our man Craig Slater, he explains porpoising through his body.
It's something called porpoising. Now that's, if I can maybe just demonstrate this, it's when the car imitates the swimming motion of a porpoise, so it kind of...
What is Craig Slater doing there?
He's releasing the brand new Sky Sports Thirst Trap twerk video.
The big problem all the teams seemed to be wrestling with was porpoising. It was like this kind of movement. It was like the cars reacting in a strange way.
That is fantastic. And it's not the first time Craig Slater has used dance to explain a complicated Formula One topic. This is Craig Slater and Ted Kravitz explaining the flexi wing.
And then on the straight, it effectively goes like that.
They're doing the limbo.
As if limbo dancing
They're doing the
underneath
limbo.
an imaginary pole.
It's not just porpoising in the flexi wing, though,
Oh,
Lukey
no?
boy. This is Craig Slater explaining the new updated checkered flag protocols. That is amazing. That is incredible insight from Craig Slater there.
All this talk of porpoising, I feel like we've neglected a key aspect of porpoising, and that is the porpoise itself.
That's right, the dolphin.
Dolphin or porpoise, it is a porpoise, Tim.
And the key difference is?
The mouth, actually. I actually looked it up.
Oh,
because I did a little bit of digging. Did a bit of research. I contacted my sources, and I found this.
Sound is incredibly important for porpoises, and they use it in pretty much all of their life functions.
Do you know what a porpoise sounds like?
I don't know what the porpoise of this is.
I found a piece of footage that actually records what porpoises sound like. Take a listen. There they go. Swing. Look, they're communicating. Look, here they come. That's a V8 porpoise there.
A lot of talk about F1 testing, Lukey boy, but Ted Kravitz found something that we haven't done.
But what we haven't done is demonstrate or explain any of the new technologies in Formula One through the medium of cheese.
Hang on.
Until now.
Hang on.
Through the medium of cheese.
Don't tell me.
Which means for the first time in 2022, it's time for
Hommage Au Fromage.
The segment dedicated to all the cheese mentions in the Formula One paddock.
Tim, bring it on, or as the French would say, le bring it on.
There is a way that we can use something that sits close to cheese to explain a new development that we've seen. The Ferrari, and this is the bit I am referring to. It's their side pod.
Firstly, the irony of explaining huge technological advances on an iPhone 5. I think that's lost on Ted Kravitz.
I mean, I've got an Oppo phone, and that's still more technologically advanced.
You're probably wondering, how is Ted going to explain the sculpted side pods of the Ferrari?
I thought, well, it's red, and I basically took this from the fridge before I came out. So let's see if we can demonstrate exactly how it works. Just don't want to litter. So I'll put this away.
Ironic, because that's where his idea came from. the bin. So Ted Kravitz with a Baby Bell cheese.
Using a little bit of Baby Bell. No, you know what? I'm going to back him in here. I'm a big Hommage Au Fromage advocate, and I reckon he's going to be able to encapsulate the structural integrity of the new F1 cars using some fromage.
This is the bigger bit of the bit that sits next to cheese. Maybe we'll keep this here. So I just keep the Baby Bell in my pocket, JD, or for later? Yeah, I'll keep it for later. That'll be a nice snack.
I'm concerned. iPhone 5 and storing cheese in the back pocket.
But Ted, for some reason, continues.
So you see the outer curve.
Okay,
the side pod.
What is he
there.
doing?
I don't know about this, Timmy.
Does that look about right to you?
No.
Air comes down, gets sculpted up, hits the bottom of that little channel, and then gets accelerated and spouted off the back lip.
It is 2022, Tim. No one should be getting spouted. Okay, no bell, no Baby Bell, no one.
You thought one prop was bad, Leaky Boy. Ted brought out another.
So if you imagine this is, again, we're using water as air here.
Whoa!
It's all over my shirt. Oh dear. So go in here. It's coming in at this point.
All right.
And you see
now, okay.
Sort of
What is going on here?
He's doing it on
the
purpose.
angle right.
What is he explaining?
That didn't work quite as well as I expected.
That worked exactly as well as I expected.
He is up to something there. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, I don't quite know what concept he's explaining, but it's definitely not that. Well, that's how Ted Kravitz explained it, Leaky Boy. Sky Sports' Craig Slater took a slightly different approach. There's him and Rachel Brooks just explaining the Ferrari. But Ted Kravitz was everywhere at testing, Leaky Boy, and he had a PowerPoint presentation where he was going through all the images of all the cars at testing.
Another shot of the floor there as well. Let's see if we can...
Whoa!
No. They camouflage.
Okay.
The Alfa
Clear
Romeo
search
Sauber.
history. I think I know what he was doing, and I think I can demonstrate it. Whoa, there he goes.
It's funny, though. I've always looked at Daniel Kvyat as a strong spouter. He's a spouter from way back.
One of the all-time great spouters. There's no spout about that.
Spouter of the show. Tim, last week you and I made fools of ourselves.
Last week.
By not being able to name this man here.
Ferrari is the only team.
The Ferrari Magician.
The Ferrari Magician. We weren't able to name the Ferrari Magician.
Thankful to our reserve drivers community who know a lot more about the sport than us. His name is John Alkin.
No wonder we don't know that name. He's probably some minor player at Ferrari.
Chairman of Ferrari. That's okay.
Not a good sign.
Not a good sign, but I found a little bit about this character, Alkin, and he's got his mind set on the big ideas.
So, if one could actually invent teleportation, that would allow us to travel much easier.
I mean, a Ferrari teleporter. He could teleport back to the last time Ferrari were competitive. That is the advantage of a Ferrari teleporter, Leaky Boy. Teleportation is obviously an incredibly complex topic, Leaky Boy. You and I can't describe it. Craig Slater had a go.
It's not just teleportation,
Wow.
Tim. He had more.
And if you could actually communicate with your dog or with your trees, wouldn't that open up a whole universe?
I'd like him to communicate with a psychiatrist, Leaky Boy. What is he talking about? Teleportation, talking to dogs?
It was there. You might have seen Elon Musk was there. It was a big old convention. All the big dogs were there.
Were you communicating with the dogs?
And at the end, John Alkin, he's a classy man. He had a very touching gift for Elon Musk.
This very special space chocolate that will be waiting for you when you come next time.
I think he's been having a bit too much space chocolate, if you know what I mean.
I tell you who else has had a bit too much space chocolate.
Porpoising. It was like this kind of movement.
Well, that's fantastic, Leaky Boy. We copped a bit of flack for calling him a magician, but clearly he's a man grounded in reality, teleportation, and communicating with dogs. All the best to that man and the other inhabitants of the planet from which he's from. Let's talk about Alfa Romeo, Leaky Boy.
A lot of change at Alfa Romeo.
They were the last to reveal their car. They've been wanting to keep their car very much under wraps, away from prying eyes.
The team have been hyper-secretive about their car. They don't really want you to take too close a look at it, but, there it is.
Okay, when we say hyper-secretive, there it is there. Exciting times at Alfa Romeo, Leaky Boy. New driver Zhou Guanyu has joined the team, and he's incredibly committed to his seat at Alfa Romeo.
Hi, this one's for Belgium.
There he goes.
Okay.
There he
Can you
goes.
talk
He's
a bit more
leaving
about
halfway
the
through.
following? Did you have
See ya.
much chance to...
Let's talk about Red Bull, Leaky Boy.
Coming off the championship from Maxi.
A lot of pressure on their head design supremo, Adrian Newey, to come up with a great new car. And Adrian Newey's been busy during the break.
Has Adrian Newey done it again? Has he brought something miraculous?
I mean, they've gone a route.
Adrian Newey's got a route. He's had an absolute massive break, Lukey boy. Adrian Newey, he's been down and dirty in the sheets. Let's take a look.
I tell you what, if Adrian Newey ever follows up his how to design a car book with a how to get a route book, then I'll buy it.
There are two buyers here. What he can do with a set square and a compass, Lukey boy, is incredible. It is absolutely incredible. I mean, a lot of the new players are using electronics, but he is very much old school.
On that note, Timmy boy, we need to jump out of here.
We will be back again next week.
That's completely unconfirmed from any sources.
So thank you for watching. Thanks for all your comments, and a big thank you to our new sponsor, KO, for coming on board.
Are they still on board?
I think they're still on board. Remember, every F1 race is now on KO.
But to take us out tonight,
porpoising. It was like this kind of movement. It was like the cars reacting in a strange way at full throttle, sort of undulating up and down.